Hello everybody. Following on from Transaction Capital's investment into WeBuyCars, we've decided to make a few short video clips explaining the WeBuyCars opportunity. In this second video clip, myself and Van der Walt, the co-founder, significant shareholder and CEO of WeBuyCars, provides you with a short overview of their business.
Thank you, David, and good afternoon, everyone. Let me start by saying that we're really excited about this new development in WeBuyCars, where we'll be getting a new shareholder on board. Both our companies have many synergies. We are both 20 years old and we were founded from the ground up. So we believe that together we can really strengthen and add value to the businesses, reaching our full potential in the years to come. So let me tell you a bit about the history and market position of WeBuyCars. On this slide, we'll explain the evolution of WeBuyCars into a leading market participant, which it currently is. Over the years, there were many highlights and milestones along the way. But let me start right at the beginning. WeBuyCars was founded by myself and my brother Dirk van der Walt in 2001. We started very small, selling cars from our homes, and grew organically over the years. For the first few years, we did everything ourselves, and during these years we learned a lot about the motor industry, what to do, but more importantly, what not to do. But the real growth in our company came when we started scaling the business. We did this by appointing buyers, which we trusted to do the jobs we always did. And then steadily and surely we opened branches to a point where today we are represented in all 9 provinces. We have 7 huge car supermarkets offering a variety of cars to our clients, and we have become a household name. Currently we employ more than 1,000 people and we trade in excess of 6,000 cars per month. Right, so what is WeBuyCars' position as it stands? WeBuyCars is a trader of vehicles in the used car space in South Africa. We have no brand affiliation. We trade all makes, models, types and ages of cars. We are a trusted brand amongst numerous market participants. Our company is very entrepreneurial, still founder-led and proudly South African. We're really strong on data. We have 20 years of internal proprietary data that we use and utilize on a daily basis. So we've developed artificial intelligence capabilities, which enables us to accurately predict buying and selling prices of vehicles. Today, we are vertically integrated, which means we have extended our offering to include value-added products like warranties, insurance and tracking, etc. We have a strong national footprint where we have buyers in all major towns and cities and car supermarkets in most major towns. We have also developed e-commerce capabilities, especially in the B2B market, and recently commenced B2C capabilities as well.
Thanks, Van. I think if you could please carry on and tell us a little bit on this next slide about your management team.
Thank you, David. Yes, on this slide you can see the whole team. So initially the business was run by my brother Dirk and myself, and we are still actively involved in the business, myself in the role of CEO and my brother Dirk as the Chief Strategic Officer. But over the years, as we expanded, we started looking for like-minded people who are innovative and share our passion for the industry, and we've managed to assemble a very strong and highly qualified ExCo team, the details of which you can look at on the slide. And then in 2017, we got a new shareholder on board in the form of Fletch Capital, which is represented here by Conrad Fleischhauer and Paul Viljoen, who add a lot of value to the business through the experience they gained being a company who invests in other businesses.
Thanks, Van. And I think it's important to add that from Transaction Capital's perspective, we will appoint Terry Keir, the CEO of SA Taxi, who together with myself and the other Transaction Capital executives will oversee this investment. From this slide you can see that WeBuyCars' financial performance has been outstanding. This is a high growth business. The investment in WeBuyCars will accelerate Transaction Capital's growth rate. WeBuyCars' compound annual growth rate from 2017 to 2020 in revenue has been 62%, in EBITDA has been 65%, and in profit has been 58%. You can see if you take a look at this graph through the black line running through the middle, that margins have remained stable even during this high growth period. There's also an opportunity for WeBuyCars to increase unit economics per vehicle sold from a greater take-up of finance and insurance products. Obviously, vehicle margin is earned on all vehicles sold, but currently, finance and insurance margin is earned only on about 15% of vehicles sold. For every 1% increase in this penetration, WeBuyCars estimates that it can earn a further 9.3 million rand in profit. Next, you'll see that WeBuyCars' established infrastructure facilitates operational leverage going forward, with 40% of costs fixed and about 60% of cost variable. And finally, WeBuyCars has a really robust balance sheet with very little, if any, leverage and extremely high cash conversion rates. Fawn, maybe you want to talk on this slide, which talks about WeBuyCars' operational performance.
Thank you, David. Looking at this slide, you can see that WeBuyCars has experienced great growth over the years, especially in the number of vehicles that we've bought and sold, but also when it comes to the number of visits we get to our website, as well as the physical visits we get to our physical locations, which we like to call our car supermarkets. Whilst doing that, we also created efficiencies, especially the marketing cost of acquisition came down and stock turn days remained stable. So looking at our competitors, you can see that we compare very favorably to the local and international companies in this regard. A lot of people ask me, how did COVID affect WeBuyCars? And I guess like most companies, we got a real fright when the lockdown regulations came into place and we weren't allowed to trade for 2.5 months. My greatest fear was that we might end up to retrench people, but I'm really proud to say that today we're probably one of the very few motoring companies in South Africa that did not retrench people. In fact, we recovered so well that currently we're advertising positions and we're generating the highest level of leads ever. In fact, last month we had a record month with 6,551 vehicles bought.
That's amazing, Fawn, and if you take a look at the pre-COVID levels, that was just below 6,000 or thereabouts at 6,000 if I recall.
Correct, yes. So we're happy to be back in business.
Amazing recovery, well done. Thank you all for listening. Until I see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay productive.